What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! Yes, we have made it to another weekend, y'all. Well, some of y'all had. Thursday nighters, rejoice, rejoice. Friday is here. All right, y'all. I have a great show set up for you guys today. In Behind the Feed and Off the Record, 50 Cent has been caught lying in that Diddy documentary. I told y'all this was coming. Anyways, also in lead stories, Candace Owens calls out Erika Kirk for the first time, and Owens accepts a TPUSA sit-down invitation, but it could be very dangerous. Also, it has been confirmed that Beyoncé and Brandy hate each other. Also, we finally have a full video of the possible war crime, and it has been released. And lastly, in lead stories, Halle Berry calls out Governor Newsom over menopause. Y'all know I do not play when it comes to females, so I am definitely females, period. So y'all know definitely I have Halle Berry's back on this one. In quick news, we're going to talk Iman Shumpert, Jermaine Jackson, Brian McKnight, India Love, Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian. Yes, Kanye West is back in the news, resentfully. As always, we're going to close out the show with questions of the day, comments of the day, and social discussion of the day. Also, for those of you who are sick and tired of spam phone calls, emails, and text messages, we're going to tell you about a free trial with Aura that will help get rid of all of that for you. And it's the holiday season. You do not want to be playing around with spam and links and craziness while you're doing your holiday shopping. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Y'all know what time it is. Woo, woo! Come on. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. It's Friday. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, in our first story behind the feed and off the record, let's deal with this whole 50 Cent documentary. I'm very sorry for those of you who saw yesterday's show, and I promise I wouldn't talk about it anymore, and we should move on to the appeal or the pardon. One last thing came out today that I have to do my due diligence and tell you guys about. I promise to keep it short, okay? Now, I told y'all that I was not impressed with this Diddy documentary. I told y'all that I felt like 50 should have came with a lot more receipts and a lot more damaging goods. This is 50 Cent. This is Netflix, the biggest in the business. And I felt like they came with a lot of hearsay and didn't give us enough meat to sink our teeth into. And it was really the last 40 minutes of part 4 that was interesting to me. And the reason why in part 1, 2, or 3, I said it was filled with stuff that we already knew. Diddy's story when he was a kid, his mom, his dad being unalived, Harlem, Tupac, Biggie. We all have heard these stories for years and years and years, and not taking anything away. And somebody yesterday had a comment about, how can you just skate over the fact that he could have had something to do with Biggie's unaliving or with Tupac's unaliving? And I'm not skating over that fact. If he had something to do with it, I hope he gets charged and gets put away in jail for years. My point is that we have heard these allegations millions of times before, and I didn't feel like we needed to hear it again in the 500,000th Diddy documentary. And I thought 50 and Netflix could have done a better job. Also, what I said is that there was a lot of hearsay. I know a lot of you out there hate Diddy, but that doesn't mean just because somebody sits in front of a microphone and a camera and says, Diddy did this and Diddy did that, means that it's true. You guys love to sink your teeth into all of these civil suits and all of this hearsay and all of this alleged crap that you guys are watching it being like, oh, he did this at Biggie's funeral. Oh, he did this to Tupac and he did that. Really? So where is the trial? Where is the conviction? Where is the investigation? And one of Biggie's friends, Wayne Burroughs, has come out and said 4 lies that are in that documentary. Now, this is not somebody on Team Diddy. This is somebody who spoke directly with Lauren LaRosa, shout out to Lauren, shout out to the Breakfast Club, and said he wants to set the record straight. This is somebody that worked with Big's mother, Valletta Wallace, God rest her soul, who's no longer here. He came out and said there was 4 or 5 big lies in this documentary that are not true. And I'm going to read them here to you, and we're going to put this to rest. And again, I would just like to say, Wayne Burroughs is in charge of B.I.G., Notorious B.I.G.'s estate, appointed by Big's mom, and who was one of Big's friends. And this is what he said. Now, there was one point where he said that, there's a point where Kurt Burroughs, who was 25% owner of Bad Boy, and not to get confused, Kirk Burrough and Wayne Burrough are not brothers, they're not related. So Kirk Burroughs on the documentary, the one who said that he was 25% owner with Diddy, he came out and said that Diddy used Biggie's own money for Biggie's funeral. If you guys remember, he said, Diddy came out and said, I'm going to pay for the funeral. But when he saw how expensive it was, he decided to charge Big's estate. And it was supposed to be B.I.G. who actually paid for the funeral. Wayne Burroughs has come out and said that that is 100% true. Nobody from the estate, not his mother, him, nobody paid for B.I.G.'s funeral except for Sean Diddy Combs. I would like to reiterate, this is the person who is in charge of Big's estate, said that not one penny from Biggie's estate, from his royalties, nothing went to pay for Biggie's funeral. And he said that Sean Diddy Combs and Bad Boy Entertainment paid 100% full for Biggie's funeral. Point period. Second thing, Bad Boy and Diddy paid for everything, that Biggie accounted for. This is just a part two for the funeral. Not only did he pay for the funeral, but he paid for the cars, the police, and everything that had to do after B.I.G. was unalived. Okay, so that is not true. The record label. Okay. Second thing, he said that Big's mom, he feels insulted that Kurt Burroughs would make these allegations, saying that Big's record label and Big's estate would pay for this, because he said Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, was very adamant about going over the numbers, not once, but twice. So the fact that Kurt Burroughs would go on Netflix and sit down and say that, oh my gosh, Diddy said that he was going to pay for a thing, but really it was all his estate. He feels that's insulting to Miss Wallace, because Miss Wallace would never allow something like that. So not only is Big's friend saying that, he's also standing up for Big's mom to say that he would never allow something like that. Next thing, let's talk about contracts. He said, again, Kurt Burroughs in the documentary, Kirk said that B.I.G. and Diddy were renegotiating their contract. And at the time when Biggie was unalived, Diddy tried to hide those renegotiations so Biggie's mom wouldn't find it. Again, Wayne Burroughs said that that is untrue. It's not true whatsoever. He was a part of Biggie's management before and after. And he said that the contract after his second album, which was released, I think was released only 2 weeks after he was unalived, that has never changed. And he said that after he was unalived, it was renegotiated for different splits because he was unalived and they wanted to release unreleased music. And he said that that is not true. He's saying that Kurt Burroughs is lying about that. There was no change in his contract. There was one contract when he was while he was alive, one contract when he was unalived. And he's saying that Kurt Burroughs that was not true. There was no renegotiations and there was no hiding. And lastly, also in the documentary, Kurt Burroughs says that Rolling Stones wanted to give B.I.G. the cover of the Rolling Stones magazine. And Diddy was actually the one that said, listen, my solo album is coming out. Don't put B.I.G. on there. He's unalived. He's done with. Put my face on the Rolling Stones cover because I have my solo album coming out and I want to promote that. Again, Wayne Burroughs says that is unequivocally not true. There was no plans for Rolling Stones to put B.I.G. on the cover at all. Diddy got that cover on his own. Done. So those are three things. The contract negotiation was a lie that Diddy tried to hide. The Rolling Stones cover was a lie. And all the funeral stuff was a complete lie. Now, you could decide who you want to believe. You could decide if you want to believe Kurt Burroughs, who was in the actual documentary, or you could decide if you want to believe Wayne Burroughs, who is in charge of Biggie's estate. I'm not here to tell you who to believe or not. All I am saying, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up, is I've seen a lot of people online saying, yo, I watched this documentary and, yo, after the case, yo, I thought Diddy may, not have done this and not have done that. But after watching this documentary, nah, he's the devil. He's this and he's that. And you could still have that opinion if you want. All I'm saying is that Kirk Burroughs said a lot of things in that documentary. A lot of people said a lot of things. Little Rod, Aubrey O'Day, etc., 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 etc. And all I just keep on reminding you guys is people could say what they want to say. Aubrey, Little Rod, and Kirk Burroughs all have civil suits against Diddy. Kirk Burroughs lost his civil suit against Diddy. So everything that he's saying in the documentary about the 25%, he tries to claim that in his civil suit, it got thrown out. Everything that he's saying about Diddy got thrown out. So he doesn't have enough evidence for criminal charges, and he doesn't have enough evidence to win a civil suit. But you expect me to sit down and say, I believe everything, but the police don't believe everything and the court systems don't believe everything, but I should believe everything? Now, if you want to believe Kirk Burroughs, that's fine. But the reason why I sit down here and talk about the reason why I sit down here and I talk about Diddy the way that I do is because I am a man that likes to talk to you guys about things that are proven in court. That's exactly why I went down and I sat down in the federal courtroom. And I looked at the evidence that was presented to me from Maureen Comey and the federal government. Those are the facts that I like to depend on. Now, I'm not going to sit down here and say to you that I don't believe anything about Biggie, or I don't believe anything about Tupac, or I don't believe anything that Kirk Burroughs is saying. I'm not saying that he's saying is untrue. All I'm saying is that at some point, you have to take into consideration that some of these things that these people are saying may not be true. And the fact that they can't bring up criminal charges and the fact that they can't bring up civil charges and they're just sitting on Netflix documentaries with a person who's executive producing like 50 Cent who hates Diddy. And then you have people from Big's estate that are coming out and saying, no, that's not true. Diddy paid for his whole funeral. No, that's not true about the contracts. We have all the contracts. We have everything. That's not true about Rolling Stones. You got to have to start maybe doubting Kirk Burroughs a little bit, Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the Netflix documentary. Netflix and 50 Cent for sure did their thing. They brought everything all back up. They have shifted people's opinion about Diddy, and that's all fine. I could care less your opinion about Diddy. My whole point here is to always bring you guys what the facts are so that you guys are at least drawing your opinions, not just on hatred, but on facts. And the facts are there now has been 3 lies proven, according to Wayne Burroughs, and he has no reason to lie. He's on Big's side. Right? He has no reason to lie. Kirk Burroughs has reason to lie, if you ask me. But I want you guys to draw your conclusion about the Netflix documentary and just think the other lies that are in there. Where are the criminal charges from everything those people have said? Where are at least the civil court winnings? How come Kirk Burroughs hasn't won a $1? If he was really a 25% owner, how come he hasn't won back anything? I could say, yo, I was 50% owner of Bad Boy Entertainment. I could sit on Netflix. Does that mean you believe me? Where is the proof? I need receipts. Anyways, please, it's the end of the week. Let's stop talking about this documentary, please, and let's move on. Like I said yesterday, I would like to focus on Diddy's appeal, and I would like to focus on the fact if Donald Trump is going to pardon or commute his sentence, because the holiday season is coming up. And the last thing that I've heard on the streets is that expect a holiday surprise with Diddy and Trump. And that doesn't only just come from me and my sources. Christian Combs, I showed you guys audio 2 weeks ago that he said that. So it's December the 4th today. got a couple of more days. Let's put this Netflix documentary, the 50 and Diddy hate, to the side. Let's see if Diddy is going to get commutation, pardon, or if he's going to win his appeal. I think that's what we should focus on. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. All right, in our first lead story, that got me a little hot. All right, for the first time, Candace Owens has called out Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife. Now sit down. I have a couple of things to tell you about Candace Owens. Let me just read this to you. I'll play the video. This video is in reference to an immediate call to a huge potential French-American donor just minutes after Charlie Kirk's unaliving. This video feels like real escalation from Candace Owens, who has, for the most part, not spoken about Erika Kirk at all during her investigation. I believe handling Erika Kirk's involvement or non-involvement is something that should be handled with care, and Candace has done exactly that. She seems aware of the obvious. If there is anything to point at Erika Kirk, it should be done with certainty and not with speculation. Listen to this video, and we got more. Listen.
Of course, I am hopeful that Erika Kirk will issue a statement. I think in this new capacity, CEO and chairman, that we deserve an answer about that check, that phone call. We deserve a clear answer on that, and no dancing around it. Because like I said, my sources were pretty solid on that, and I am just kind of trying to digest the devastation of it all, really, to be honest with you, what the implications are.
Okay, now before we go to part two, which Candace is actually going to sit down with TPUSA. Every time I talk about Candace, I got to remind you guys that I sit on the fence, and I know I know you guys hate when I'm on the fence, and y'all are going to call me Trent Two Sides. Part of me is not a Candace Owens fan. I don't like her affiliation with Kanye. Y'all know my grief with Kanye. I don't like some of the things that she has said. I don't like her stands on stuff. But there's part of me that since the beginning of this Charlie Kirk thing has fallen in love with Candace and her determination and her lack of fear. And I have said that in the beginning, I'm like, I'm very concerned about her and this Charlie Kirk thing because I know Candace likes to do things for clicks. And in the past couple of weeks, I was like, seems a little cliquish. This French Macron, they want to unalive me. And I'm like, where's the proof, Candace? And I'm like, I think she's going back to being cliquish. Plus, we haven't seen much evidence of the Charlie Kirk thing. I would just like to say, I am officially back on the Candace Owens bandwagon. I'm officially back. Like I'm no longer on the fence. I'm Team Candace right now. And it's this story that has got me on the Candace Owens side. You have to put away some of the ridiculous things that she has said and the ridiculous stands because she is taking on a behemoth. It is finally happening. Candace Owens is going to be sitting down for a head-to-head meeting with TPUSA. The very people who she is accusing of being involved with, having knowledge of, or potentially orchestrating the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. And she is going to sit down with them. She has been challenging them for weeks. They have set out, and I have the video where they said, it's time, we will sit down with you. They set out a challenge to Candace Owens, and she says that she is going to accept it. If I'm not mistaken, this is going down December the 15th at 2 p.m. From what I'm understanding, it will be in the TPUSA studios in Phoenix. She said, hey, this is conflicting to my normal schedule, but I'll do it anyways, which I thought was about to be an excuse, but she's like, I'll do it anyways. And the one thing she said to me that makes me know that this is real and it makes me stand on her side is she said, hey, one condition I have when I come down and sit with you, no unaliving. She literally said that I'm going to play. Hey, I have one condition. Don't try to unalive me on my way there. When I'm sitting down with you, don't try to set me up. The fact that Candace Owens has a thought that she is at that much of a risk to call that out. There's one thing to be sitting down in your studio and alleging that people are doing these wild things, alleging that governments are doing wild things. There's another thing to go and travel and sit down in those people's faces and say the same thing to them. That's crazy work. And that alone, I take my hat off. I'm sorry. That is commendable, respectable, and that goes beyond clicks. I'm going to play some videos for you. Y'all draw your own opinion. Take some of the past away and just listen to this.
Candace has mentioned several times that the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court.
Yay! Finally! You didn't have to get through all that shade that you were throwing me to get to the point that you were willing to answer questions, okay? Because that's what Charlie did for a living. These were your own errors. These were your own lies. And I was not going for a single second to let up on the pressure. In fact, I have been so strategic that I have been holding on to certain information, hoping that you would acquiesce to have a public conversation because I want to look you in the eye and I want to challenge you to lie to me. You can pick the place, you can pick the time. I say we do it tomorrow. We don't need to plan for this. We don't need lawyers in between us, lawyer statements. It's not how I roll, okay? I don't care about any of that. I want it to be authentic. Like I said, you can take the money. We can raise money live for this conversation. That is how badly the world is demanding it. So I accept it with whistles and bells, everything I fully accept. I say, let's do it tomorrow. And my only ground rule is no assassinations. Okay? No assassinations. No funny business. You can't pretend you're going to do it and then Candace died in a mysterious accident, okay?
No, I'm sorry. That is a woman that's fearless. And I'm sorry. Like that. Okay. She said a couple of things in there. She said she's been holding back some information that, from how I take it, that she is going to bring it to them live there. So they have to be prepared to hear, confront, and answer some information that she hasn't made public yet, which who knows how that's going to go. The fact that she said that we could do it right now, we could do it today, lets me know that she is ready. I like the fact that she said, hey, we could raise money, we could do it live. She's not like, hey, I want to do it on my platform. Shows me that she is prepared to have this conversation for Charlie's sake and not for views and clicks. She's letting them have it. And it's live, so it can't be like recorded and then edited. I do hope that they do, take whatever profits come from it and it's not going to one place, and maybe they do agree to send it to, I don't know, like a nonprofit organization or something. And because that will let us know this is really just about getting to the truth. That's, for me, is what it would say. I think those are the things. Yeah, she wants it right now. She doesn't want it to be on her terms or her clicks or her shows or whatever. And the fact that she knows that she is bringing non-public information. Candace is ready, man. This is going to be huge. Of course, I'm going to watch it live and record it. I'm not record it, and then come back here to you on my show and report everything that's going on. So stay tuned. This is going to be an interesting week leading up to December the 15th. I don't know if they're going to accept your invitation and do it sooner. Who knows? But stay tuned. Until then, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section. Oh. Sorry, there's one more thing. This is actually really not really important, but this just actually came out on TMZ. Candace Owens anticipated the game's track the rapper of the game put out a track called Unaliving Candace Owens. And the reason why that is important, I just wanted to throw it out there, is that this has gotten so big that it's actually getting into hip hop. It's actually getting into mainstream now. TMZ interviewed the game and he's like, the track is not really about Candace. It's about a metaphor, but it's real. He's using the metaphor to say of like, you know, how willing she is to put herself on the line. And it just shows me that Candace is morphing her way into pop culture away from just being a YouTuber or a podcaster, that she's really cementing herself in pop culture as somebody that's willing to put herself on the line for the truth. And that gets my respect. Again, there's some things in the past that I don't like, that I don't stand for, but Candace is the number one podcast in the world right now. I think she got crowned last month. This setting up with Charlie and the fact that the game put out a song and the title is Unaliving Candace Owens. Candace is doing her thing out here, man. Candace is doing her thing. And y'all know me, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you do something that's commendable, I'm going to respect it. So shout out to Candace Owens. Now, y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our second lead story, new reports claim Beyoncé and Brandy do not rock with each other. Also, Brandy and Kelly reportedly on the outs. All right, I told you this yesterday. I didn't even need this report. I didn't even need sources. I literally was like, 2 and 2 equal 4 all the time. For those of you who didn't watch yesterday's show or don't know what's going on, I'll give you a backstory before reading this. Ray J went on stream yesterday or 2 days ago, was like, yo, Beyoncé and Jay, how are you coming to the Boy Is Mine tour and seeing everybody but Monica, seeing everybody except for Brandy? You're taking pictures with Monica. Yo, just come by and say hi. And everybody was like, hey, she's probably just coming to see Kelly. And, it's really busy back there and it's not really a big deal. And Ray J's just talking. And I was like, look, it was alleged that Beyoncé and Jay, or at least Beyoncé, has been to 6 tours, 6 stops on the tour. If you go there one time to see Kelly and then you run into Monica, okay, I can give it to you. 2 times, but I used the example of like going to someone's house. If Monica and Brandy are like the husband and wife of the house, and you go to someone's house and let's say Brandy is the wife, you see the husband, okay, one time, okay, you leave. But the second or third time, you're going to be like, hey, is your wife home? Let me say hi. Just out of respect. So the fact that B was there the first time, the second time, by the third time, if you don't see a picture with Brandy and you don't see her going to hail up Brandy on her own tour, it's clearly that Beyoncé and Brandy have an issue. Everyone was like, oh no, just a matter of fact, there's no beef. Stop it. And it came out today that there's beef. According to new reports from the Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa, once again, by the way, shout out to the home team, got an official response from Warren Burroughs on the Diddy thing going through Lauren, and again now with Brandy and Monica going through Lauren. Shout out to the home team. Thank you very much. Okay, let me get back on track. According to new reports from the Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa, Beyoncé and Brandy reportedly do not rock with each other, and Brandy is also on the outs with B's Destiny's Child bandmate and sister from another Mr. Kelly Rowland. As we previously shared, Brandy's brother Ray J recently called out Beyoncé and Jay-Z for attending Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is Mine tour, supporting opening act Kelly Rowland, but allegedly failing to meet with and take pictures with Brandy. Ray J went nuclear on the power couple. Meanwhile, some comments were shared from Brandy's Instagram account under a Beyoncé fan page. Eventually, Brandy's management team shared a statement on her Instagram denying her creating the comments and claiming her page was hacked. That's really not important. Forget about that. After Brandy set the record straight, Lauren LaRosa reports that sources close to the tour and people who know told her they saw reports online and alleged video of Brandy and Beyoncé walking past each other backstage. The source alleges the two powerhouses are not cool with one another. As for the reason why, Lauren's sources claimed that the two were once cool, but as B rose to fame, their relationship got rocky and it hasn't recovered. Source also claims Brandy and Kelly have a strained relationship as well. Guys, come on now. Like I said yesterday, they both came up in the mid-90s. We look at it as Beyoncé, the mega superstar. And okay, you know, Brandy, in her own right in the culture, Brandy is still super, super relevant. And Monica, y'all know I'm a big fan. I told you I have the hoodie from the Versus battle. Like, I don't play when it comes to Brandy and Monica. So in a cultural, aspect, yeah, Brandy and Monica are on the same level. Yes, years later, mainstream wise, they're on a different scale, but they in their heads are like, yo, we came out together and she's B. She thinks she's better than everybody. So of course there's going to be beef. It totally makes sense. I have the video of Beyoncé curving Brandy backstage. Brandy's on her way walking and Beyonce's hiding out. Now, if you ask me, if Beyonce is the big bad queen, she shouldn't be ducking Brandy. B should be walking backstage like she is B, and Brandy should be like, oh, I don't want to see her. It's Beyonce, Queen Beyonce, that's like, oh gosh, she's coming and ducking. Take a look at the video. See, she's like hiding behind some guy, like probably a bodyguard, and then, whoa, no more Beyonce. And then Brandy comes around. Anyways, this to me is not shocking. It's really not that much of a big deal. There's a lot of people in the industry that don't like each other, that will be on tours with each other. It's not crazy that Brandy doesn't like Kelly and Beyonce are sisters. Like, this is totally normal. It just so happened that Ray J shed a spotlight on it. That's all. And like I said to you yesterday, Ray J is the most entertaining person on the planet right now. When it comes to streamers, YouTubers, content creators, Ray has it locked. And look at what he just did. And at the end of the day, this just brings even more attention to the tour. That's it. For those of you who forgot about the tour, you remembered and you spoke about it. And it's going to be better for all of them around. So, y'all know how I am. This was maybe just all a setup to, bring more ticket sales. And it went through Ray, the biggest person on the internet right now. So y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our third lead story, let's get to some politics. Lawmakers horrified after watching full video of possible war crimes. All right, this is a follow-up to Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, this possible war crime, and the possible charge of unaliving somebody, and this Venezuela boat. We know, obviously, Donald Trump is not going to take the fall for it. People are looking into Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is trying to blame another general. Now the video has come out. I'm going to play a little bit of a report here for you. But one thing I do not have, and I literally just heard as I started recording this, is that from what I'm hearing is that they're starting grounds for impeachment for Pete Hegseth. He might be out of there. Remember I told you guys last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, Kash Patel might be out too from the director of the FBI. And my prediction is that in 15 to 16 days, when we get the Epstein files or whatever comes out of this 30-day Epstein thing that the DOJ has to produce, I feel like Pam Bondi is going to take the fall and we're not going to get what we're supposed to get. That's Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Pete Hegseth. 3 of Donald Trump's closest allies. If he loses those 3 people, plus he's potentially losing the House, Donald Trump is going to have a very, very uncomfortable 2 years in office. Anyways, take a listen to this.
We have some major news right now. Lawmakers are horrified this morning after seeing the video of the possible war crime in the Southern Caribbean. Jim Himes, the senior member, Democratic member on the House Intelligence Committee, just came out and told Manu Raju, quote, "What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have two individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion with a destroyed vessel who are killed by the United States." From what I am hearing, this video shows the United States of America murdering two people who pose no threat to the United States of America. And as Jim Himes says, it is one of the most troubling things that he's ever seen.
Just honestly speaking, I am not shocked by this. Of course, I haven't seen the video, but Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, nothing would shock me what they would do in the name of protecting America against immigrants. I am not shocked at all. I, of course, feel bad for the two people and their families. I personally think there is way more of this that is going on, and we are only hearing about this one incident of these two people. Like, this is Donald J. Trump we were talking about here. We'll see what comes of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our fourth lead story, Halle Berry calls out Governor Newsom for vetoing menopause care bill 2 years in a row. All right, y'all know I do not play when it comes to reproductive rights, and menopause and all of this stuff has to do with reproduction, if you ask me, so I'm pissed. Halle Berry wants all the smoke with California Governor Gavin Newsom for vetoing bipartisan legislation aimed at expanding menopause-related care and coverage, marking the second consecutive year the bill was blocked. The statement after Illinois became the first statement of mandated coverage for hormone replacement therapy. According to The Hill, the legendary actress spoke Wednesday at the New York Times Book Deal Summit, stating that repeated veto demonstrates a disregard for women and could disqualify Newsom for presidential consideration. Back in my great state of California, my very own governor, Gavin Newsom, has vetoed our menopause bill not once, but 2 years in a row, Halle Berry said. But that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever. And with the way he's overlooking women who are half the population by devaluating us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either. If you're not aware, the Menopause Care Equality Act passed California lawmakers in 2024 and 25 would have required health plans to cover evaluation and treatments for premenopause and menopause symptoms. In addition, it also calls for menopause-specific curriculums and created continuing education credits for physicians completing menopause-related training. Newsom vetoed the legislation most recently in October. According to NPR, they reported in July, Governor Newsom's veto message, he said the bill was too far-reaching because it would have required health insurance plans to cover expensive and non-FDA approved treatments. Nah, I don't have to know any other details. I don't know nothing about no healthcare. Give the women what they need. Y'all know how I feel. I will literally give up becoming a man. Well, not becoming. I will give up being a man today to become a woman if it meant I was able to have a reproductive gadgets in me and be able to have a child. I think it is the most beautiful thing in the world. It should be the first wonder in the world. Any female, whether you be an animal, human, or whatever, if that wasn't existing, none of us would be here. That should be protected at all costs under any circumstances. So everything from a period to conception to birth to menopause, that all has to do with a female cycle. So anything from the beginning of the first day period to menopause that comes from females, I feel they should get everything they need. So I don't know the details of this bill, but I stand by it. And also, I do know Halle Berry, and I do know that she's a good person, and I do know that she is an advocate for menopause. She's been doing a lot of good work for the past couple of years on her Instagram. She's going out, she puts herself out there, and she's breaking the stigma around menopause and a lot. We don't have to get into all the other stuff that she gets into from an intimacy level, etc. And I don't feel there's a lot of women speaking about those midlife issues. And I feel like social media and our society, we more focus on, young women and, the 20s and 30s and who's popping and who's sleeping and who's doing this or whatever, blah, blah. I like what she's doing. I think that she's bringing a lot of credibility to that age group, and I love it. So I'm here. Halle, you have my backing. Need anything, let me know. And more men need to stand up. Like I said, I don't need to know the details. None of us would be here without reproductive rights, reproductive organs, women, females of any animal or creed or whatever. Anything they need, y'all got my backing. Y'all know, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, in our first quick story, Iman Shumpert accused of dragging a woman by her wrist and ankle because he wanted her to leave his home. Police say due to lack of supporting evidence, no charges were filed. She said, "I will see you in court and on Instagram in the morning." Iman Shumpert is being accused of putting his hands on a woman he wanted to leave his home, according to TMZ. They obtained body cam footage of officers responding to the incident around 4:30 a.m. last week. Police say dispatch initially received a call regarding a dispute, somebody putting hands on somebody, and they discovered Iman Shumpert, Joanne Donajur, and another woman. Donajur spoke with police and claimed the altercation happened during a discussion about Iman communicating with another woman. She claimed that during the dispute, Iman dragged her by her wrist and feet to the staircase in an attempt to make her leave. Donajur had a ride en route when the police arrived, but she said she wanted to press charges against Shumpert for the incident and alleged that he put hands on her. Police say they also spoke to another woman who was on site. She claimed Iman asked the jour to leave twice, then grabbed Mr. Jour by the wrist to escort her out, but that was not done in an aggressive manner. Cops claim there were no visible marks or injuries on de Jour's body, and no charges were filed due to lack of evidence. In the body cam footage, you can hear de Jour telling Iman, "See you in court," and on Instagram in the morning. Iman spoke to TMZ following the incident and said, "I asked her to leave several times after I witnessed her damaging personal property. This matter was quickly closed that night by police after they did their investigation." So we do have a video, but it's really no sense of playing the video because it's literally them just arguing with the police. So there's nothing really to see. Two things here. Her saying, "I'll see you in court," but then saying, "I'll see you on Instagram in the morning," just tells me everything I need to know about the girl. The police came, did their assessment, saw there was no marks, saw there was no nothing, didn't press any charges against a black man that had two women in his house and they didn't do anything. Lets me know that there's probably nothing going on. The fact that she was like, "Hey, I'll see you on Instagram," tells you everything you need to know about the girl. Now, having said that, regardless of who is in your house and whatever y'all doing, that's his business. He is divorced from Tiana Taylor now. He can do whatever he wants. And luckily, the other woman that was there was like, yeah, there was nothing going on. But she did say he grabbed her wrist. You cannot grab anybody at any time ever. And Iman should know that. Iman, you're a millionaire. You're famous. You're an athlete. Bro, call the cops. Somebody's in your house, you want them out, you could yell, you could say whatever, blah, blah. Even just grabbing someone's wrist and saying, "I want you to leave," you cannot do that. You gotta know. First of all, any guy out there, just don't ever do that, period. That they're there to set you up. That's what these girls are here to do. Trust me, okay? So you could never do that. Iman is super lucky that he got away with this, because that alone for a cop that didn't like him, didn't the way how he looked or whatever, that could have been an incident. So if you ask me, Iman lucky, and he should just be careful with himself. That's my point of view on this whole situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our second quick story, during his first public appearance in years, Jermaine Jackson reveals the family is building a Michael Jackson art museum. Okay, y'all know I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I can't wait for this movie to come out. But this is not about Michael Jackson or about the museum. And there is a thing that I could read here. I'll maybe read a paragraph. This is about Jermaine Jackson's painted on hairline. This is all this is about. There's no reason why this is going viral. I'm going to play it for you in a second. This man is fully delusional. Jermaine Jackson's hairline won't be the only thing that the Jacksons are painting. He popped out in Monaco for his first public appearance in years and came with some major news about the museum for his brother. Jermaine told the crowd that the Jackson family has quietly put together a huge collection of Michael Jackson's artwork, including 120 paintings and nearly 200 creative pieces in total. They even gathered memorabilia from the Jackson 5 days all the way up to Michael's final years. The goal is to build a museum that celebrates Michael Jackson's talent and visual art. Jermaine said that he wants the space to feel vibrant and capture what the family brought to stage. The location is still being unknown, etc., etc. Okay, guys, look at Jermaine Jackson's hair.
With this Hits Gala, we're introducing Jackson Family Legacy with the museum, and it's basically, it's called the Treasures Collection, done by my brother, my late brother, Michael. It's 200 some pieces, and we want to have it here.
First of all, I have so many questions. Who did that to him? That's the first thing we have to find out. Who did that? That's one. The second thing, after it was done, who on his team said, yo, this looks good. This is how you should go on camera. That's the second person. And then the third thing, we need to find a doctor to examine Jermaine Jackson, because how could he let those two people around him? How could he let somebody do that to him? And how can he let somebody tell him that's okay? Clearly, the man needs help, because this is absurdly ridiculous. This shouldn't even be applied in this manner. What the heck is going on? All right, in our third quick story, Brian McKnight Jr. claims his brother, who's no longer with us, asked his father, Brian McKnight Sr., to say, I love you before his passing, and he allegedly refused. During a sit-down with Mark Lamont Hill, Brian McKnight Jr. revealed that his brother, Nico McKnight, begged their father to say, I love you. And Brian McKnight allegedly said, I can't arbitrarily say that I love you. This is really sad. For those of you who follow me daily, you know that my first love of all love is R&B music. I mean, it fights with reggae as the Jamaican I am. The Jamaican American Canadian that I am. But all jokes aside, y'all know how much I love R&B music. Brian McKnight might be one of my favorite male R&B artists. Maybe, yeah, he's one of my favorite. I could sing every Brian McKnight album back to front. I Remember You is my favorite of all times. And this is hard. It's hard because I say that I will not listen to any R. Kelly music. It's hard for me to separate the artist from the music, the artist from the music. And of course, R. Kelly is vastly different from Brian McKnight, but the more and more I hear about this story, the more it bothers me and I just don't like it. For those of you who don't know, we've reported on this a couple of times. Brian McKnight has just completely exonerated his first family and has started a whole new family and doesn't speak with his first family. He has recently won a court case, if I'm not mistaken, for like $8 million from his wife for defamation. and against the kids. Now, if you ask him, these kids did him wrong, and he was the one that's right, and the courts have sided with him, and y'all know how I am with courts and proof and receipts. But regardless of that, I do always say, whether I'm talking about, it doesn't matter who I'm talking about. I feel as a parent, the child is always right, even when the child does something wrong. If you guys remember us talking about Kayne and his girlfriend and his mom, we found out is an Instagram girl, and Kayne's girlfriend, if you guys remember, like, he was calling the mom out, and then the mom got on Instagram, and I was like, hey, even if they're wrong, you're the mom. You don't get on Instagram and do this. And I feel the same way with Brian McKnight. Like, even if your kids did you dirty, they're your children. You are the father. You always have to give your kids grace. You are always supposed to be the elder. And that's the problem I have with my father. If you guys have read my book, that's my problem. And so I'm always going to hold it down. Like, I personally was not wrong in me and my father's situation, but even if I was, you always got to be the dad. You always got to be the mom. You always got to be the parent in the room. So while I don't love that their brother is now going on Mark Lamont Hill, and you could talk about Nika, you could talk about the mother, bruh, you should always tell your kids you love them, especially if they're no longer going to be here. You have the nerve to look at your child and say, I can't arbitrarily tell you that I love you. Sorry, I know I don't have kids, but I don't think there's anything that my child could ever do for me to not tell them that I love them. I don't care how wrong they are. I'm always going to love you because that's my job. That's the beautifulness of being a parent. I unconditionally love you. When you're wrong, when you're right, I'm here at all times. When you're wrong, I'm going to tell you. If you do something wrong to somebody else in your life, I'm going to tell you, but I'm always going to love you. You know what I mean? Like, even those parents that, like, you know, hand their kids into the police if they did something wrong or whatever, tough love or whatever, regardless of whatever my kid does, whether it be a crime or not, whatever, blah, blah, that's a whole other thing. Disciplining them or dealing with them or whatever. But you always got to love your kids, man. Anyways, I'm very disappointed in this with Brian McKnight. He could sit up there with his cheerfulness. A couple of weeks ago, we played for you. He had a cigar and he's like, yeah, I won my case and this is he's vindicated. Bruh, you did not tell your own son that you loved him while he was passing away. It's not cool, Brian. Sorry. Y'all weigh in and let me know what you think in the comment section below.
I told him, man, Dad is gone. Dad's gone. All my brother wanted and needed, asked for, was my father to tell him that he loves him. My father responds to my brother that I can't arbitrarily say that I love you.
Right.
All right. In our fourth quick story, India Love explains why she quit OnlyFans despite earning $2 million. India Love set the record straight on why she decided to walk away from OnlyFans even after earning a staggering $2 million from the platform. In a recent live stream with boxer Ryan Garcia, India opens up about her decision to leave. She revealed that she is done with the way OnlyFans creators are perceived and the personal issues that came with the attention. According to Yahoo Entertainment, she explains that while she enjoyed content creating that was very tasteful and artistic, she ultimately couldn't handle the backlash and unwanted attention from people in her personal life. India Love admits that what truly made her stop was when her OnlyFans account got sent to her family, including her nephew and her brother. It'd be the people that like living this terrible life that do the weirdest things. But that's what made me stop for real, was when they were sending things to my family like, yeah, nah, I was over with it. My little brother was getting into fights at school. I just had to stop all that ish. Well, India says she doesn't regret her time on OnlyFans. She's clear that she's moving on. I don't know how much I believe this. Now, India had pictures out way before OnlyFans. You can Google and find everything that you need to see. Okay, nothing is a secret. And this is pre-BBL and post-BBL. Then she went on OnlyFans. I remember when she went on OnlyFans. She had this rollout that was going to like, yo, the internet is going to stop because India Love is on OnlyFans. And to find out that after a year or 2 years, she only made $2 million, for this article to be like a staggering $2 million. Now, while I'm not taking anything away from $2 million, in the famous Instagram world, that is not a lot of money. Somebody like Sophie Rain makes $40 million a year. Somebody like Iggy Azalea, $45 million a year. Somebody like India Love, she should be making 10 mil a year. So the fact that now she's a streamer and like, oh, I wanted to only stop doing OnlyFans because my little brother and nephew got pictures. They could still get pictures anyways. So that doesn't make sense to me. It feels like her OnlyFans account was a fail and it wasn't generating money, and she had this account and it was embarrassing, and that's why she's trying to make an excuse. Like I said, if that's the reason, then why are all the pictures still available on the internet? Because you could scrub and you can have somebody paid to take that off and they're all still there. So from what my expertise tells me is that her OnlyFans attempt is a fail and was a fail. So she's closed it and now she's a streamer and just blaming it on stuff when she knows that it failed. And to be honest with you, I can understand why it failed, to be honest with you. I mean, she's a pretty girl. She has all the assets. I don't have an answer. It should have been bigger, but I don't know. I've never been on OnlyFans till this day, and I don't know what her work is on there. Maybe she wasn't offering enough. I don't know. Like I said, never been on OnlyFans. My point is that it was a fail, and she's making this story up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our fifth quick story, Kim Kardashian says Ye called her Paris robbery a hoax, and she got teared up recalling the betrayal. All right, this is making its rounds on TMZ and virally that Kanye West didn't believe Kim, and he thought that her Paris robbery was a hoax to bring attention to the series. Now, I'm not even going to shed a lot of light on this. Y'all know I hate talking about Ye, and I refuse to get into his marketing machine. But I would just like to use this as a small example to show you guys how disgusting of a human being Kanye West is. Now, you guys have heard me sit down here multiple times and tell you that's not true. They're setting this up. This is just for, clicks. This is just to get on the blogs. Like, I am the man at sniffing that out. All right. Ever since I learned that in school, like 15 years ago, I aced that marketing class and know how much everything is made up for viral stuff. Let me tell you all something. Now, the Kardashians will do a lot to go viral, but to think that Paris robbery was set up, that is disgusting. There was a whole trial. There was a whole everything. Like, these people admitted, we know the guys, everything. For that incident to be on that level, to have that much police, but for that to be set up for the gram, and for you to think that your own wife would do something like that. Now that's clearly Kanye knowing it's true and him saying that so that he could rile up his base and he can get attention off of her. That's the only reason why he would say that. And I'm just using this to show you the fact of how much of a disgusting person he is, that he will discredit something that could happen, something that happened to his wife that's so traumatic that he knows is true. He will go on his own platform and be like, yeah, she's probably making that up for clicks. Come on. Maybe a cheating allegation, maybe a fight with Courtney, maybe a this, for sure. They're Kardashians and Kris, they're masterminds. But the Paris robbery, bro, do you guys remember what was alleged to have happened to her that night? You think she would make that up? Come on, bro. That's disgusting. Just further proof of what kind of person Kanye West is. Ugh. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.
Even my ex-husband had said, and you faked your robbery for a TV show, and had said that in front of all these people.
All right, y'all, this brings us to our favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. All right, y'all know before we get into that, I have a very, very important question to ask y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Hold up, wait, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are, all three of them, if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend-out-loud to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. And trust me, it has been. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. Let me give you guys a little bit more context. You go online, you shop somewhere, you do something, you order something, you have your Netflix account or whatever. All the information that you input is there in the background, and these companies sell this to marketers. A lot of bad actors get their hands on this in the name of marketing. And what's the marketing? Oh, we just want to know what Susan is buying. We want to know what Mary's into or whatever. So we could, sell them things. We could put this in their Google search or whatever. That information gets in the hands of bad actors. That's why your cell phone rings from spam phone calls. That's why you get emails with links to click and text messages from people you didn't give your phone number or email or anything to. You can go to these sites independently and say, hey, take off my information, take off your information. But you shop and you do so much stuff online, it would be impossible. Aura takes care of all of this for you. Anytime you enter any of your information in the background, it removes it and it keeps it off and out of the hands of bad actors. That is why you need a digital security tool. And even if you do have one, use Aura because they are the best. Take my word for it. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. You get real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is ever found on the dark web. A secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based around-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection. 360 degrees, you are covered with Aura. Like I said, even if you have one already, that's great. But trust me, use Aura. It's absolutely free for 14 days. Click the second link below, or the QR code beside me. Give them a try. I guarantee you will not regret it. I promise you. Okay, let's go to comments before we go to social discussion. I don't have a super chat today. I think it's like the second day in a row. I'm feeling not loved, but it's all good. I'll explain to you guys after, for those of you who might not know how to give super thanks. Let me go to the comment section, and we're going to pick a random comment. We're going to go to newest. We're going to slide down, slide up, hold on, and slide down, and then stop on a random one, and says, I don't care if my man is handsome or not. If he doesn't have the right character traits and treats me like the queen I am, I'm out. He is supposed to be my king. She's just disrespectful. And if you plan to have kids with him, then what? Even if she feels that way, how hurtful to him and his family. WTF. She's too comfortable and should have gotten her last bag that day. Also, I forgot to say this comes from me, myself, and IH. She also said, I don't see you pro Diddy. You just speak the truth. I love the facts too, boo-boo. F them, fun them. Keep up the great work, Trent. Out loud proud for you. Austin, Texas, baby. Shout out. Love that. Thank you very much. Y'all know I am not pro Diddy at all. And yes, totally agree. And I think that's pretty much what I said. It's not shocking that she was like, hey, my man is not ugly. And by the way, this was social discussion yesterday. It didn't shock me that this woman came out and said, hey, my husband is not good looking. That's fine if you think your husband is good looking or not. But I agree with me, myself, and IH that, or LH, sorry. Yeah, it's not about good looking or not, and shouldn't be about money. It's, does he love you? Does he take care of you? What about the family or whatever? Like, to actually be with somebody for 15 years and only thing you could say is about his money in the bag? Like, that is crazy. Anyways, thank you very much for that comment. For those of you who are wondering how to give back a super thanks, or how to give a super thanks, it is the button below. There's a thanks button underneath every single video. If you just click that, there will become a little slide. You could choose the amount you want to give back. This stems from a lot of people asking us about PayPal or Venmo. This is the easiest way to give back. And what I love about it is that you could change the thanks to whatever comment you would like. You give it, I will read it the next day. It sends me like almost like a text message. It gives me a notification. I'll like it, heart it, reply right back to you. I'll read it out the next day. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right. Also, here is another way if you guys want to give back. Please sign out to the Out Loud membership. Sign up and you will get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live streams, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. Also, I do a weekly vlog, which I'm going to try to do one tomorrow. Sorry, y'all. Every day I've been like, sorry, I'm going to do one. And in the vlogs, I get personal, behind the scenes. I talk more about me, not political or any sort of, entertainment stuff. So make sure you sign up for the Out Loud membership today. When you get to the membership window, you will see different levels like Out Loud, Proud, Family. That just came from people saying, hey, they want to give a little bit more a month. Just know that any level that you choose, we're grateful for anything. But we're all one big happy family. There's no different levels of access. Once you become a member, you have access to everything. All right. So sign up today. All right, now, when it comes to social discussion, I think I have a good one here today. Draymond Green opens up about possibly missing his child's birth while Warriors are on a road trip. My wife does a great job. She's strong. Draymond Green's wife is currently expecting their 5th child. During a press conference, Draymond was asked about possibly missing the birth during an upcoming Warriors road trip. He admitted it would suck, but if it comes down to it, he'll find a way to make it back. I am not a dad. I've never been in this situation. Maybe one day I will. I don't even know if I want to anymore, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. Yo, I don't care if it's my 10th kid. I'm not missing my child's birth. He's like alluding to the fact of like, yeah, my wife will be all right. And if anything happens, like, maybe I'll try to find a way back. Bruh, first of all, I would like to just say something. Draymond Green is a multimillionaire. He's established. He's a Hall of Famer, a 4-time champion. I'm not missing my child for nothing. I will tell that team, y'all could do without me on the road. I'm staying here with my wife. I'm not missing. That is your child's birth. What do you say? Yeah, I dropped 10 points on the Chicago Bulls the day you were born. I couldn't make it? What? No, sir. No, sir. So this is a social discussion. Ladies out there, if you had an established husband who is established, he's made his own money, I don't care whatever it is. First of all, there's no exception. But if let's say you were you just got in the NBA, you're just a rookie, you know what I mean? You don't really have that much clout. I could at least say to my kid, yo, I'm doing this for you. You know what I mean? I still probably would be like, yo, coach, this is my child. You know what I mean? I don't see one coach that would allow this, but maybe it's just me. And maybe you women out there might feel different and be like, yo, it's okay, do your things, their 5th child or whatever. But to me, it's not even only the woman or the coach or whatever, it's my child. Like, Dad, where were you? I was in Chicago. Yeah, I had 4 blocks that day. 4 blocks, 6 points, yo. What? Nah, man. Nope. My sister has 4 kids. She wouldn't let me in the room. That's her own thing. And I tried to be in the hospital every time that my sister was giving birth. I was definitely in the area. There's stories of, it's actually kind of weird, one time I was in Toronto, she was giving birth. My mom was like, yo, it was 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, forget flights, whatever. I'm driving back right now. My mom was like, chill, get some sleep. You just left the club, sleep, wake up, and just drive down in the morning. I slept, woke up like 3 or 4 hours later. Boom, sister delivered. Second kid, I was in where she was. Like I was actually at her house. Then I had to take my nephew to my mom's. I missed that birth. My whole point is that I have stories of my own sister, me trying to be there. And imagine if it was my own child. Nah, bruh. So today's social discussion is, ladies and gentlemen, is it essential for you to be at your child's birth regardless of your job? Women, sound off. Men, sound off, and let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Who is allowed to show up to your house unannounced? My mom, my sister, my niece and nephews, my dad. That's it. Yo, I don't even like people calling my phone unannounced. Yo, if we don't talk daily, you can't just call my phone. That's what the text message is for. You know what I mean? Like, no. This is not back in the day. Like, somebody said the Lord, the mail, my online shopping deliveries. Another person said the Holy Spirit, my blessings, all my friends and family. I may not be prepared for guests, but they're always welcome no matter what. Another person said God, Amazon, the mailman delivering my package, my kids all day, every day, of course. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit and Amazon, my 7-year-old son and God, the people who live there, God, and that's it, that's all. My mama, and I'm iffy about that, the mailman and delivery package, Jesus and his angels, UPS and FedEx, Jesus and the blessings. What is this emoji? Somebody put an emoji of Key Sweat. It's got to be a deeper meaning behind that. My kids from school, God, nobody, my mom, brother, dad, uncle, boo thing. Exactly. Nah, man. No. So you can't just show up at my house like that. I don't know. I remember when as a kid, people would just like show up at your house, but no. I am not answering my door for nobody, man. No. Like I said, I feel like it's rude to just call somebody. Listen, if it's a girl who I'm talking to every day, you just roll up, that's different. We have that kind of relationship. My sister, my mom, my niece and nephews, my father, and that's about it. But even at that, I would be like, what are you doing here? Like my sister would be the only one that I wouldn't be surprised at, because she would do something like that. She'd be like, what's up? And I'd be like, she's like, yeah, I'm coming to borrow this. I'm doing this, whatever. But my sister's like my best friend. So that's fine. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'd pretend like I wasn't home. Anyways, let me know who can show up at your door unannounced in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is it for me. That is a wrap. Thank you so much for kicking with me. I thought we had a good show today. Friday! Let's go! I feel like it's going to be a good weekend. All right. Before I let you go, I'm going to remind you of 3 things. Please hit that thanks button below the video and give back to your favorite YouTube host. I'm working hard out here for you. Second way to give back to the show, sign up to the Out Loud membership. First link below, or there's a join button above. And third, give back to yourself this holiday season. There's a 14-day free trial. Do not shop online without signing up for Aura. Second link below, QR code beside me. Trust me, I don't know anybody that signed up and haven't found something of their personal matters, whether it be email, phone number, whatever, that Aura hasn't showed them and help get rid of. Just trust me, okay? Also, before I let you go, I'm going to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen to shows like this, we're available on all social platforms, all podcast platforms. Just go to any pod site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. I don't know why I said that so aggressively. Make sure you hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time I upload a new show. I'll count. Easy. Now, if you're like me and you like to watch shows like this on video, head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud. When the show pops up, 6 things I'm gonna need you to do. First 2 things is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We need to get the algorithming. Third thing is please try to comment below. You guys are my co-hosts, okay? I bring a lot of topics, whether you disagree with me, whether you like me, you don't like me, or whatever. We're trying to build a community here. Doesn't matter the side of the fence you're on. Please try to comment below. This is the whole point of this show. Now, for those of you who do not like commenting or joining in on the conversation, please do not feel pressure. I look at all the comments every night before I go to bed, and I love to see where you guys are listening from. So if you don't want to join in on a conversation, at least let me know the country or the city you're watching from. Is my favorite thing to see. Fourth, for those of you who are really enjoying it, really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps in growing the channel, and we're here to grow this channel and this community. Fifth, sign up for the Out Loud membership. Sixth, use that thanks button and give back to your favorite YouTube host. For those of you who want to follow me outside of this show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's also the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram, and please follow our Instagram show page, The Trent Out Loud Show. That is where we post most of the videos and the stories that we talk about here. We cannot post a lot of things in its entirety here on YouTube. There's a lot of restrictions. We post more of it there. So it's a good way to kind of get some stories throughout the day. And when we come up, we post the show. You're already familiar with some of the videos. It's just a 360 way to keep up with the show. So make sure y'all follow The Trent Out Loud Show on IG. I'll see you here tomorrow. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud.